Hey there, welcome to Thesis in 3 weeks, day number 5. So today we're going back to your notes, starting by reviewing your notes once again, clean things up. You can use your highlighter here to highlight anything that really sparks your fancy or is really interesting. And then you're going to take notes on 6 to 8 more references. So there's something to consider at this point. If you already started out before you ever joined our little project here, and you had a lot of notes already, or you're almost at the end of all the possible references that you're going to be using, you don't necessarily need to go out and get more references. You just need to make sure that you've covered your topic and you're meeting the minimum requirements. So 6 to 8 references in terms of notes is very manageable within the space of about 2 hours. Remember, you're not digesting or memorizing anything. You're extracting information from your sources to compare and contrast. So you take more notes, and then we're going to expand the themes in your notes to identify a few new themes and add information to previously identified themes. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to sort your table, your notes table, and you're going to sort it to look at different types of references and then compare and contrast what you see. So sort by the column that has reference type, and let's say, for example, surveys. You get to surveys and you have several different surveys that have some information about your topic. Look at what you see there. Is there any theme that emerges? And then you'll do the same with review articles. You can do the same with editorials, and you're going to start to see patterns. So do this with the articles, and this also might help you, by the way, figure out where in your paper you're going to be using that as a reference. All the references have a home somewhere, whether they're introductory or lit review or actual data. So once you've done that, then you're going to sort your table to look at your data articles. And today you should be able to identify your dependent and independent variables. So thinking back to my chicken recipe, best recipe for a whole chicken, well, the dependent variable would be what it means to be the best recipe, right? And so I don't know yet whether the best recipe is feeds a whole lot of people, or impresses a dinner date, or is most versatile that I can use in different recipes, whatever that is. But at this point, I should be able to identify this is what I want. I want the best recipe to be able to use a chicken to feed as many people as possible. Let's just say that's what I want to do. That's my dependent variables. What goes into that? The independent variables. The independent variables will be different aspects of the recipe itself. So independent variables in my case might be appliance used. Is it going to be the pressure cooker? Is it going to be on a stove? Is it going to be in the oven? Whatever it is. So that's one independent variable. Another might be the temperature. Another independent variable might be the seasoning. And so in your case, if you're doing, for example, a clinical analysis of a clinical intervention, you might look at as your independent variables what characteristics there were, demographics of the patients in the study. You might look at the dose that was used. You might, of course, look at comparisons, if there were comparisons. But as you're looking at that, you want to compare and contrast across all of the studies. So this is where you're really going to be digging into your data and looking for your themes, looking for your patterns, and those are going to be your framework that you're going to use from here moving forward. And so one just little trap that you want to avoid is their citation manager. Some of them now have these little star ratings and other fancy things you can do in the citation manager. If you were going to be writing lots of different theses type papers for the rest of your academic life, you might want to use that because you would be coming back and looking at looking for, that article that I remember from somewhere. But you really don't have to do that at this point just to get yourself through a thesis. So all the whistles and bells that there are in citation managers, don't worry about them so much. You really just want to be able to extract information from your articles and get information into your paper. So that's what you're going to work on today, and we're almost at the end of the first week, so keep going. See you tomorrow.